What could not stay in your life may look like a loss right now, but it may not be what your fear thinks it is. It may not be proof that life is against you. It may not be proof that love has left you. It may not be proof that your prayers were ignored. It may not be proof that you made a mistake or that something beautiful can never come again. Sometimes what leaves is not being taken from you to hurt you. Sometimes it is being moved because it could no longer walk with the peace you are becoming ready to receive. Sometimes life clears the old road before you can see the new one. Sometimes the universe removes what your hands were too tired, too scared, or too hopeful to release. And at first, this can feel painful. It can feel empty. It can feel unfair. But the empty space is not always a sign that nothing is coming. Sometimes the empty space is the first quiet sign that something better now has room to arrive. What could not stay was clearing the way for what is meant for me. When something leaves your life, the heart often tries to hold the door open. It looks back again and again. It asks why. It asks what if. It asks if one more message, one more chance, one more explanation, one more try could have changed everything. The mind begins to walk in circles. It remembers the good moments. It forgets the heavy ones. It makes the past look softer than it felt while you were living inside it. This is very human. Do not shame yourself for missing what hurt you. Do not shame yourself for feeling sad when something ended. The heart does not release in one perfect breath. The heart releases in layers. But even while you are hurting, there is a deeper truth waiting under the pain. Not everything that leaves was meant to stay. Not every closed door is a punishment. Not every silence is rejection. Not every ending is the end of your GC. And all. Some endings are life saying, gently and clearly, this could not carry you any further. You may not see that in the first moment. In the first moment, you may only see what is missing. You may only feel the space where something used to be. You may wake up and remember that the message is not coming. You may reach for the old habit and feel the ache of not choosing it anymore. You may look at the plan that failed, the dream that changed, the person who left, the door that closed, and feel as though life has removed something precious from you. But please breathe before you call it a loss. Please pause before you decide that life has taken away your future. A closed door can be loud, but it is not always telling the whole truth. Sometimes life removes what would have kept you in the same pain. Sometimes life allows something to end because your soul has been asking for peace, even if your fear was asking for the old thing to stay. This is why trust is so important in seasons of removal. Trust does not mean you feel happy about everything that happened. Trust does not mean you pretend it did not hurt. Trust does not mean you smile while your heart is still learning how to breathe again. Trust means you stop calling every ending a disaster. Trust means you leave room for a higher meaning. Trust means you say, I do not understand this yet, but I will not use this pain as proof that life has forgotten me. Trust means you believe that life can be working even when the outer picture looks empty. Trust means you allow the possibility that what left was not the blessing itself, but something standing in the place where the blessing needs to enter. There are things that look like love, but feel like anxiety. There are places that look safe, but keep your spirit small. There are habits that look comforting, but quietly keep you stuck. There are plans that look perfect, but are built from fear, control, or old pain. There are dreams that once felt right because they belonged to an older version of you. And when life begins to remove these things, the smaller self may panic. It may say, no, I need this. I know this. This is familiar. This is what I have been holding. But the deeper self may whisper something different. It may whisper, this is not peace. This is not freedom. This is not where I can grow. This is not where I can love myself fully. This is not where my life is opening. So if something has left, or if something is leaving now, speak to your heart with care. Do not say, I was rejected. Say, maybe I was redirected. Do not say, I lost everything. Say, maybe I am being cleared for what can truly meet me. Do not say nothing good stays with me. Say, what is meant for my peace will not require me to lose myself. Do not say, life is empty now. Say, space has opened, and I am learning to trust the space. These are not just pretty words. They are a new way of standing in front of pain. They help the body stop closing around fear. They help the mind stop making the ending into a life sentence. They help the heart remember that what is gone is not always greater than what is coming. The old self may want to chase. It may want to push. It may want to prove. It may want to hold on to what is already moving away. But the new self, the healing self, the wiser self is learning a different way. The new self is learning to say, I do not have to run after what cannot meet me. I do not have to beg closed doors to become open. I do not have to turn my pain into a chain. I do not have to keep watering what life is gently asking me to release. If it is meant for my highest peace, it can meet me in peace. If it must be forced, begged for, chased, or feared every day, then perhaps it is not the safe place my soul has been asking for. This may be hard to hear at first, because many hearts are used to fighting for crumbs and calling it love. Many hearts are used to holding on to stress and calling it loyalty. Many hearts are used to staying where they are unseen and calling it patience. Many hearts are used to repeating old pain and calling it normal. But life is not asking you to suffer to prove that you care. Life is not asking you to keep choosing what breaks you just because you once wanted it badly. Life is not asking you to confuse struggle with destiny. The universe can bless you without making you abandon yourself. Love can come without making you beg. Peace can enter without making you shrink. A better path can open without demanding that you keep your hands full of what is already hurting you. What could not stay may have been clearing your inner space. It may have been clearing your mind from confusion. It may have been clearing your heart from fear. It may have been clearing your body from tension. It may have been clearing your future from a path that looked right but felt wrong. Sometimes the blessing is not only what comes next. Sometimes the blessing is what no longer has power over you. The blessing is the message you did not send. The blessing is the door you stopped pushing. The blessing is the habit you no longer obey. The blessing is the old story that no longer feels like home. The blessing is the quiet moment when you finally say, I wanted this once, but I choose my peace now. The mind may ask, if this was clearing the way, why does it hurt so much? Because release can hurt even when it is right. A heavy coat can feel familiar even when it is too warm to keep wearing. A locked room can feel safe if you have lived there long enough. An old pattern can feel like home even when it keeps you from breathing. The pain of letting go does not always mean you are losing something meant for you. Sometimes it means the body is learning how to live without the old weight. Sometimes it means the heart is opening after being closed around one hope for too long. Sometimes it means the soul is moving and the human part of you needs time to catch up. Be gentle with that human part of you. It has loved, it has hoped, it has waited, it has tried to understand, it has held on because it did not know what would happen if it let go. Speak to that part kindly. Say, I know you are scared. I know you wanted this to stay. I know you thought this was the way. But we are learning to trust life more deeply now. We are learning that what leaves is not always leaving us empty. We are learning that space can be sacred. We are learning that the future does not need the past to return in order to become beautiful. We are learning that life can remove something and still be loving us. This is the first shift. Before anything changes outside, something must soften inside. Instead of looking at what left and saying, I am not chosen, you begin to say, I am being guided. Instead of saying, I was left behind, you begin to say, I am being led forward. Instead of saying, this ending proves that nothing works for me, you begin to say, maybe this ending is the doorway to a kinder life. You do not need to believe this perfectly today. You only need to let the thought come close. You only need to stop fighting the possibility that life may know how to remove what you could not see clearly. You only need to let one small light enter the room of your pain. There is a quiet power in saying, I trust what life removed. Not because it was easy, not because you understand every detail, not because the heart is finished grieving, but because you are no longer willing to make the removal mean you are unloved. You are no longer willing to call yourself abandoned by life. You are no longer willing to bow down before what left and say, you were my only chance. No. What is meant for your path is not lost by divine order. What is truly aligned with your soul can find you without fear. What belongs in your life can meet the version of you who is healing, growing, and learning to receive without losing peace. Say this gently now, not as a forced belief, but as a soft beginning. What could not stay was clearing the way. Say it slowly enough for the body to hear. What could not stay was clearing the way. Let the shoulders loosen. Let the jaw soften. Let the hands open. You do not have to hold everything so tightly anymore. You do not have to keep explaining to life why the old thing should come back. You do not have to keep giving your best energy to what no longer has the strength to love you well, support you well, or walk with you well. You can release the grip one finger at a time. You can let life show you what the space is for. And perhaps this is where healing begins. Not when the new thing arrives. Not when every question is answered. Not when the heart feels perfectly peaceful. Healing begins when you stop turning the ending into proof against yourself. Healing begins when you stop saying, I was not enough. Healing begins when you stop begging the past to make you feel safe. Healing begins when you say, even here, even now, even in this open space, life may still be guiding me. Life may still be loving me. Life may still be making room. When life removes something, the first pain is the ending. But often the deeper pain comes from holding on after the ending has already spoken. The thing itself may be gone, but the mind keeps bringing it back. The door may be closed, but the heart keeps standing in front of it. The message may not come, but the body keeps waiting for the sound. The old plan may have fallen apart, but the mind keeps trying to build it again from broken pieces. This is how pain stays alive. Not only because something left, but because part of you keeps feeding what has already moved away. And this is not something to judge. It is something to understand with love. Holding on often looks like love, but sometimes it is fear wearing a soft face. It says, I cannot let go because this mattered. It says, I cannot stop thinking about it because I need answers. It says, I cannot release this because I gave so much to it. It says, I cannot trust what comes next because I do not know what will replace it. And yes, your feelings are real. What mattered to you mattered. What hurt you hurt you. What changed may have shaken something deep inside you, but please listen gently. You can honor what happened without turning it into the center of your whole life. You can respect the love you gave without keeping your heart tied to what could not stay. You can admit the pain without making the pain your home. The mind believes that if it keeps replaying the past, it will finally find the answer that brings peace. It goes back to the same memory. It checks the same words. It studies the same silence. It asks, why did it happen this way? Why did they leave? Why did the plan fail? Why was I not chosen? Why did life remove this now? But many times, the mind is not searching for truth. It is searching for control. It wants one clear reason so the heart can stop feeling helpless. It wants to make sense of the ending so it can feel safe again. But not every answer comes before release. Sometimes the answer is found only after you stop holding your breath in front of the closed door. If you keep asking the past to explain itself, you may miss what the present is trying to give you. If your eyes are always looking backward, they may not notice the small new light in front of you. If your hands are full of what left, they cannot receive what is forming. If your heart keeps saying, this should not have happened, it may not hear the quiet voice that says, but something new can still begin. This is why holding on can become heavy. It keeps your energy moving toward a place that no longer has life for you. It keeps your spirit tied to an old room while the door to a new season is quietly opening. Ask yourself with great kindness, am I holding on because this is truly meant for me, or because I am afraid of the space it left behind? This question may touch something tender. Let it. Do not answer quickly. Let the body feel it. Sometimes we do not miss the thing itself as much as we fear the emptiness after it. Sometimes we do not want the person, the habit, the plan, or the old dream back in its full truth. We want the comfort of knowing what to expect. We want the familiar shape. We want the old answer because the new question scares us. But the space is not your enemy. The space may be where your life begins to breathe again. There are times when holding on becomes a way of avoiding your own healing. As long as the mind stays busy with what left, it does not have to ask, what do I need now? What part of me was giving too much? What part of me was waiting to be chosen? What part of me was afraid to stand alone? What part of me believed that losing this meant losing myself? These questions are deeper. They are not always easy, but they are the questions that bring you back to your own power. The past keeps you focused on what happened. Healing asks you to notice what is ready to change inside you now. If life removed something, do not use all your strength trying to pull it back before you understand what the removal is showing you. Maybe it is showing you where you were overgiving. Maybe it is showing you where you were ignoring your own body. Maybe it is showing you where you kept saying yes when peace was asking for no. Maybe it is showing you where you were making one person, one plan, one outcome, or one dream the whole source of your safety. Maybe it is showing you that your life is bigger than the thing you thought you could not live without. This does not make the pain small. It makes the pain useful. It turns the ending into a doorway. Holding on keeps the pain alive because it keeps repeating the old message. It says, I cannot be happy unless this returns. It says, my peace depends on what left. It says, life cannot bless me in another way. It says, I am empty until the past comes back and fills me. But none of these things are the whole truth. Your peace does not belong to what left. Your future does not belong to a closed door. Your worth does not depend on being chosen by what could not stay. Your joy is not trapped inside one lost season. You may feel empty right now, but you are not empty. You are in a space of clearing. And clearing can feel like loss before it feels like freedom. This is why the heart needs new words, not harsh words, not words that say, get over it, not words that make you feel weak for caring. The heart needs words that are honest and kind, words like, I loved what I loved, and I am allowed to release it now. I wanted what I wanted, and I am still safe if life leads me another way. I can miss what left without chasing it. I can feel the ache without making it my identity. I can bless the lesson and open to peace. These words do not erase pain in one moment. They give pain a softer place to rest. They tell the heart, you are not being forced, you are being guided. There is a difference between remembering and living there. You may remember what happened. You may remember what it meant to you. You may remember the hope you had. But you do not have to live inside the memory every day. You do not have to eat breakfast with it, sleep with it, work with it, pray with it, breathe with it, and carry it into every new moment. The past can be a chapter without being the whole book. The ending can be part of your path without being the name of your life. What left can be honored without being worshipped. This is a powerful shift. It is the moment you stop placing the past above your peace. Sometimes the mind will argue. It will say, but I need to know why. I need to know if I could have done more. I need to know if it meant anything. I need to know if it will come back. And maybe one day you will understand more. Maybe one day the meaning will be clear. But you do not have to wait for perfect understanding before you begin to heal. You can begin healing with the little understanding you have right now. You can say, I know this hurt. I know this changed me. I know I cannot keep losing myself to what is gone. I know I deserve peace today, even before every answer comes. The body also holds on. It may tighten when a memory appears. It may feel heavy when you see a sign of the past. It may feel restless at night. It may feel afraid when you think about moving forward. This is why you must not only speak to the mind, you must speak to the body too. Place a gentle hand on the heart and say, we are safe to release one layer. We are safe to stop waiting at this door. We are safe to breathe in this space. We are safe to let life bring what belongs now. Let the body hear that release does not mean danger. Let the body learn that letting go does not mean you are alone. Let the body feel that peace can be safe. Many people keep holding on because they think release means they never cared. But that is not true. Letting go does not make your love false. Letting go does not erase what mattered. Letting go does not mean you are cold. It means you are no longer willing to let what left keep ruling your inner world. It means you are choosing your life force. It means you are saying, I can carry the lesson without carrying the chain. I can keep the wisdom without keeping the wound open. I can remember with love and still move with life. That is not weakness. That is a deep kind of strength. Ask yourself gently, what am I feeding every day? Am I feeding the old pain with new fear? Am I feeding the old story with new attention? Am I feeding the closed door with my best energy? Am I giving more devotion to what left than to the life still waiting for me? These questions are not here to hurt you. They are here to wake you softly. Attention is like water. What you water grows in the garden of your mind. If you water regret, regret grows. If you watch our fear, fear grows. If you water the old story becomes louder. But if you begin watering peace, trust, self-love, and small new choices, something new begins to grow. You do not have to stop thinking about the past by force. Force often makes the past louder. Instead, gently give your attention a new place to rest. When the old thought comes, do not fight it all day. Notice it. Breathe. Say, this is an old thought asking for love. Then choose a new thought. What is life making room for? What peace is entering now? What part of me is healing? What am I ready to receive? What is the next kind thing I can do for myself? This is how you take your power back. Not through anger, not through denial, but through gentle return. Again and again, you return from the old pain to the new path. There may be days when you want to go back. There may be days when the old thing feels brighter than the unknown. There may be days when you think, maybe I should try again. Maybe I should reach again. Maybe I should open the old door again. On those days, pause and ask, do I miss the truth of it, or do I miss the hope I placed inside it? Sometimes we miss the dream more than the reality. We miss what we wanted it to become. We miss the future we imagined. We miss the version that lived in our heart, not the version that stood in front of us. This is not foolish. This is human. But healing asks us to see clearly. to stop loving the picture more than the truth, to stop asking life to return us to a place that did not give us peace. The truth may be simple and tender. If it could not stay, perhaps it was not stable enough for your peace. If it kept leaving you confused, perhaps it was not clear enough for your heart. If it kept making you feel small, perhaps it was not wide enough for your growth. If it kept asking you to betray yourself, perhaps it was not love in the form your soul needs now. If it fell away when you began to heal, perhaps it belonged to the old version of you. Let this thought come close. Some things can only stay while you are still willing to abandon yourself. Once you begin choosing peace, they no longer fit. This is not about blaming what left. It is not about hating the past. It is not about turning the ending into a battle. It is about seeing the energy clearly. Did it bring peace? Did it bring respect? Did it bring balance? Did it allow you to be yourself? Did it support your healing? Did it help you open, or did it keep you waiting, guessing, shrinking, and doubting your worth? These are simple questions, but they are powerful. They help the heart see what the mind may try to hide. They help you stop making the ending wrong just because it hurt. They help you understand that pain and protection can sometimes arrive in the same moment. Say to yourself, I release the need to chase what life has already removed. Say it with love, not with the pride, not with anger, not with a hard heart. Say it like someone setting down a heavy bag after carrying it too long. I release the need to chase what life has already removed. I release the need to keep asking closed doors to prove my worth. I release the need to make the past my only path. I release the need to understand everything before I choose peace. These words may not feel fully true yet, and that is all right. Let them be seeds. Let them be small. Let them begin. Holding on keeps the pain alive, but loving release begins to give your energy back. First, you may only feel a little space. One moment when you do not check, one moment when you do not replay, one moment when you choose the breath over the old story, one moment when you say, maybe I can trust this. Do not call these moments small. These are the first signs of freedom. These are the places where the old chain begins to loosen. These are the quiet beginnings of a new life. The outside may not look different yet, but inside, you are no longer fully owned by what left. That is a sacred change. When you stop feeding the old pain, you may feel empty for a while. This is normal. The old thought took up space. The old hope took up space. The old waiting took up space. When you stop giving your life force to it, the space may feel strange. Do not rush to fill it with another fear. Do not run back just because quiet feels new. Let the space be space. Let it breathe. Let it clear. Let it become clean ground. In that space, your soul may begin to speak again. In that space, your body may soften. In that space, you may remember what you like, what you need, what you feel, what you dream, and who you are without holding on to what could not stay. There is deep love in letting yourself be free. It is not selfish to choose peace after pain. It is not wrong to stop waiting for what keeps you wounded. It is not unkind to let life remove what no longer belongs. Sometimes the most loving thing you can say is, I bless it and I let it go. I bless what it taught me. I bless the part of me that wanted it. I bless the part of me that hurt when it left. I bless the space it created. And I open my heart to what life is ready to bring now. This is release with grace. This is not pushing the past away. This is opening your hands and allowing life to continue. Life sometimes removes what no longer matches your peace, even when your heart still thinks it wants it. This is one of the hardest spiritual lessons because the mind often loves what is familiar more than what is healthy. The mind may say, keep this because you know it. Keep this because you wanted it for so long. Keep this because you do not know what comes next. But your soul may know something deeper. Your soul may know that peace cannot grow in a place where you must keep shrinking. Your soul may know that love cannot bloom where you must keep proving your worth. Your soul must know that a new life cannot enter while you are still giving your whole heart to an old pattern. Not every removal feels peaceful in the beginning. Sometimes it feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like a plan breaking. Sometimes it feels like a person moving away. Sometimes it feels like desire changing inside you. Sometimes it feels like you no longer fit in places you once tried so hard to belong. But this does not mean something has gone wrong. It may mean your inner world is changing. It may mean your peace is becoming more important than your old need to be chosen. It may mean the universe is helping you release what your nervous system called safe, but your soul called heavy. There are seasons when life will allow you to feel the truth of what you have outgrown. The same words that once pulled you back may no longer move you. The same drama that once felt exciting may now feel tiring. The same waiting that once felt romantic may now feel painful. The same habit that once gave comfort may now feel like a cage. The same dream that once gave you purpose may now feel too small for who you are becoming. This is not failure. This is growth. Growth often begins when what used to fit begins to feel tight. The soul starts asking for more room, more truth, more peace, more honesty, more love. Life removes what no longer matches your peace in many quiet ways. Sometimes it removes through a clear ending. Sometimes it removes through a delay. Sometimes it removes through discomfort that will not leave. Sometimes it removes through a closed door. Sometimes it removes through the simple loss of desire. You wake up one day and realize you no longer want to chase. You no longer want to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You no longer want to fight for a place where your heart cannot rest. You no longer want to keep saying yes while your whole body is asking for no. This is removal too. It is life removing the old agreement inside you. The old agreement may have said, I must be chosen to be worthy. I must hold on to be safe. I must fix everything to be loved. I must keep proving myself to receive. I must stay small to belong. I must ignore my peace to keep this connection, this role, this habit, this plan, this identity. But the new agreement says something different. The new agreement says, I am allowed to belong to myself. I am allowed to choose peace without guilt. I am allowed to let life bring me what does not require self-betrayal. I am allowed to stop forcing what keeps making me tired. I am allowed to trust that what leaves my life may be making room for what honors my soul. This is why removal can be protection. Sometimes life protects you by not letting the old door open again. Sometimes life protects you by allowing the plan to fail. Sometimes life protects you by making the truth too clear to ignore. Sometimes life protects you by letting someone show you exactly where they cannot meet you. Sometimes life protects you by making the old path feel so heavy that you finally stop walking it. At first, protection can feel like loss because it does not always come wrapped in comfort. Sometimes protection comes wrapped in an ending. Sometimes protection arrives as silence. Sometimes protection arrives as the thing you wanted not working. But later, when your heart becomes calmer, you may see that life was not taking from you. It was covering you. What if the thing that left was not strong enough to hold your future? What if the door that closed was not wide enough for your growth? What if the delay was not punishment but timing? What if the silence was not abandonment, but space for you to hear your own soul again? What if the ending was not life saying no to your happiness, but life saying no to the version of happiness that would have cost you your peace? Let these questions move gently through you. You do not have to force the answer. Just allow the possibility that life may see more than fear sees. Fear sees the empty place. Life sees what can be planted there. Peace has a different feeling than attachment. Attachment often feels tight. It asks for proof again and again. It checks. It worries. It waits. It tries to control. It says, if I lose this, I lose myself. Peace feels wider. Peace may still care, but it does not beg. Peace may still love, but it does not abandon the self. Peace may still hope, but it does not make one outcome the whole source of safety. When life removes what does not match your peace, it is often removing what kept you in attachment. fear, or confusion. It is teaching you to know the difference between what excites the wound and what comforts the soul. This can be especially tender because old pain often feels powerful. If you grew used to earning love, then calm love may feel strange. If you grew used to chaos, then peace may feel boring at first. If you grew used to chasing, then being still may feel unsafe. If you grew used to proving your worth, then receiving without struggle may feel unfamiliar. So when life removes what kept the old wound active, the wound may cry out. It may say, "Go back, fix it, chase it, hold it, make it stay." But your healing self can answer, "No, we are learning a safer love now. We are learning a softer path now. We are learning that peace is not emptiness. Peace is a home we are slowly remembering. Life only removes what cannot walk with my next level of peace." Say that gently. Life only removes what cannot walk with my next level of peace. This does not mean everything that leaves was bad. Sometimes something was beautiful for a season. Sometimes it helped you learn. Sometimes it opened your heart. Sometimes it showed you what you wanted. Sometimes it taught you strength, patience, self-worth, courage, or truth. But something can be meaningful and still not be meant to stay forever. Something can matter and still be complete. Something can touch your life and still not be the final place. Do not make permanence the only proof of value. Some things come to teach and then they go. There is great freedom in understanding this. You do not have to hate what left in order to release it. You do not have to say it was all wrong. You do not have to erase the good. You can say, "This had meaning, and still I let it go. This was part of my path, and still I move forward. This taught me something, and still I do not need to carry it into every new day. This once felt like home, but now my soul is asking for a wider home. That is a loving way to release. It does not make the heart hard. It makes the heart honest. Sometimes life removes a person. Sometimes life removes a plan. Sometimes life removes a desire. Sometimes life removes a habit. Sometimes life removes a false image of who you thought you had to be. The removal may happen outside, but the deeper removal is often inside. Life removes the part of you that believed you had to beg. Life removes the part of you that thought peace must be earned through pain. Life removes the part of you that thought you had to stay where your soul could not breathe. Life removes the part of you that confused being needed with being loved. Life removes the part of you that thought suffering was the price of belonging. And when that part begins to leave, you may feel strange. You may not know who you are without the old chase. You may not know what to do with your energy when you stop trying to fix everything. You may not know how to rest when you have spent years living in worry. You may not know how to receive when you have spent years surviving. Be patient with yourself. A peaceful life may feel new to a nervous system that has practiced fear for a long time. Do not rush the body. Teach it slowly. Teach it with breath. Teach it with kind words. Teach it with small choices that say, we are safe without the old pain. We are safe without the old pattern. We are safe to let life bring something gentler. The universe does not remove to leave you empty forever. It removes to make room. A garden must be cleared before new seeds can grow. A room must be opened before fresh air can enter. Hands must loosen before they can receive. The heart must stop clinging to what cuts it before it can hold what comforts it. This is not always easy, but it is sacred. There is something holy about the moment you stop fighting what life has already removed and begin to ask, what is this space for? That question changes everything. It moves you from fear into listening. It moves you from chasing into receiving. It moves you from the old story into the new path. Maybe the space is for rest. Maybe the space is for self-respect. Maybe the space is for a better connection. Maybe the space is for a deeper relationship with yourself. Maybe the space is for a dream you forgot. Maybe the space is for peace after years of trying too hard. Maybe the space is for learning to hear your own voice again. Maybe the space is for the universe to bring something that could never enter while the old thing was taking all your attention. You do not have to know today. You only have to stop calling the space a curse. You only have to let it become possible that the space is sacred. The mind may still want proof. It may say, show me what is coming, and then I will trust. But spiritual trust often begins before proof. It begins when you say, I do not see the full path, but I will stop running back to what made me lose myself. I do not know every answer, but I will stop calling the removal a punishment. I do not know what will come next, but I will keep my heart open enough for life to surprise me. This is trust. Not blind force, not denial, not pretending. Trust is a quiet choice to stop making fear the only voice in the room. When life removes what no longer matches your peace, it may also ask you to remove your agreement with the old pain. Life can close the door, but you must stop sitting outside it. Life can create space, but you must stop filling it with the same old fear. Life can show you the truth, but you must stop arguing with it. Life can lead you toward peace, but you must be willing to take one small step in that direction. This is where your power returns. You are not helpless in the clearing. You can choose how you speak to yourself. You can choose where your attention goes. You can choose whether to keep chasing or begin healing. So today, if something has been removed, try saying this. I do not know the whole reason yet, but I trust that life is making space for peace. Say it when you feel the ache. Say it when the mind wants to replay. Say it when the old hope rises. Say it when the space feels too quiet. I do not know the whole reason yet, but I trust that life is making space for peace. This sentence is soft enough for pain and strong enough for healing. It does not force joy. It does not deny sadness. It simply gives sadness a doorway toward trust. There may be a part of you that says, "But I wanted it." Of course you did. You're allowed to have wanted it. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to grieve the picture you held, but also allow this deeper thought. Maybe what you wanted was the feeling you thought it would bring. Maybe you wanted safety. Maybe you wanted love. Maybe you wanted home. Maybe you wanted peace. Maybe you wanted to be chosen. Maybe you wanted to feel that life was finally working. And if the old thing could not give that to you in a steady, healthy, peaceful way, then perhaps life is not taking the desire from you. Perhaps life is only changing the form through which it can come. This is very important. Life may remove the form, but not the blessing. It may remove one path, but not your future. It may remove one connection, but not love. It may remove one plan, but not purpose. It may remove one chance, but not possibility. It may remove one version, but not the deeper good your soul has been asking for. Do not worship the form so much that you miss the blessing coming in another way. The universe has more doors than the mind can count. Life has more roads than fear can imagine. What is truly meant to bless you is not limited to what just left. Let the old form go. Let the deeper good remain. Let the old picture fade. Let the real feeling come in a safer way. Let the old road close. Let the wider path appear. Let the heart say, "I release the way I thought it had to happen. I open to the way life knows it can happen." This is not giving up. This is opening up. Giving up says nothing good can come. Opening up says good may come in a way I have not yet seen. Giving up closes the heart. Opening up softens the hands. Giving up repeats the loss. Opening up trusts the space. If it left, if it faded, if it ended, if it stopped growing, if it no longer matched your peace, allow yourself to breathe. You do not have to chase it back today. You do not have to decide the whole future today. You do not have to understand every reason today. You can simply say, life is clearing. Life is making room. Life is guiding me toward what can meet me with peace. And as you say this, you begin to stand differently. You are no longer only the one who lost something. You are the one who is being prepared. You are the one whose hands are opening. You are the one whose heart is learning to trust what remains, what leaves, and what is still on the way. Life only removes what cannot walk with my next level of peace. Let this be the thought that sits beside you when the old fear returns. Let it be gentle, let it be steady. Let it remind you that you are not being emptied for no reason. You are being cleared. You are being softened. You are being guided. You are being brought back to yourself. The space may feel quiet now, but quiet is not empty. Quiet can be the sound of life preparing something new. There are some things you once needed because you were living from an older part of yourself, and this is not something to judge. The old version of you was not foolish. The old version of you was not weak. The old version of you was trying to survive with the love, wisdom, and strength that was available at that time. That version may have needed approval because being accepted felt like safety. That version may have needed to hold on because letting go felt too empty. That version may have stayed in places that did not feel peaceful because being alone felt more frightening than being tired. That version may have said yes too often because disappointing others felt dangerous. That version may have chased what pulled away because it believed love had to be won. But the new version of you is learning something softer and stronger now. The new version of you is learning that peace is not something you must lose yourself to receive. The new version of you is learning that what once felt familiar does not always belong in the life you are becoming ready to live. Sometimes what leaves your life was not removed because it had no meaning. Sometimes it leaves because its meaning is complete. This is a very gentle truth. Something can be part of your growth and still not be part of your future. Something can teach you, shape you, open your eyes, show you your needs, show you your wounds, show you your patterns, and still not be the place where your soul is meant to stay. The heart often struggles with this because the heart says, if it mattered, why did it leave? But life does not measure meaning only by how long something stays. Some things come for a season. Some things come to wake you up. Some things come to show you the difference between love and attachment. Some things come to help you remember your worth. Some things come to show you what you no longer want to carry. And when the lesson is complete, life may gently begin to move it away. The old version of you may have needed that situation to understand your own heart. The old version of you may have needed that connection to learn where you were giving too much. The old version of you may have needed that closed door to learn patience, strength, and trust. The old version of you may have needed that heavy season to see how deeply you were ignoring your own peace. But now, the new version of you does not need to keep repeating the same lesson. You can receive the wisdom without staying inside the pain. You can keep the growth without keeping the wound open. You can bless the season without living there forever. You can say, I understand why this mattered, and I also understand why it cannot come with me now. There is a moment in healing when the soul becomes tired of what the old self once tolerated. This tiredness is not failure, it is wisdom rising. You may suddenly feel tired of chasing, tired of proving, tired of waiting for someone to see your value, Tired of carrying conversations in your mind that never bring peace. Tired of trying to fit into a place where your spirit feels small. Tired of giving your energy to a plan that keeps giving you fear. This kind of tiredness can be sacred. It is not the tiredness of giving up on life. It is the tiredness of giving up on self-betrayal. It is the moment your soul says, I cannot keep living against myself and call it love. I cannot keep choosing what empties me and call it destiny. The old version of you may have thought love meant holding on no matter how much it hurt. The new version of you is learning that love also means truth. The old version of you may have thought loyalty meant staying even when your heart was breaking. The new version of you is learning that loyalty to yourself matters too. The old version of you may have thought strength meant never needing anything. The new version of you is learning that strength can also be asking for peace, support, rest, and kindness. The old version of you may have thought patience meant waiting forever for something to become what you needed. The new version of you is learning that patience does not mean losing yourself while waiting. This is why the removal can feel confusing. One part of you may still want what left. Another part of you may feel strangely relieved. One part may cry because it is gone. Another part may breathe because it is no longer carrying the same pressure. One part may say, I miss it. Another part may say, I was not truly peaceful there. Both parts can be present. You do not have to force one part to disappear. You can be gentle with the part that misses the past and still listen to the part that knows you are being freed. Healing often feels like this. It is not one clear feeling. It is many feelings learning how to sit together until the heart becomes ready to move. If you are grieving something that no longer belongs, please do not use that grief as proof that it should return. Sometimes the heart grieves even when the soul knows the ending was needed. You can miss what is not meant to stay. You can cry over what was not good for your peace. You can feel tender about what taught you pain. You can love a memory and still choose not to walk back into the same old energy. This is emotional maturity. It is the ability to say, my feelings are real, but they are not always my direction. My longing is real, but it is not always my guide. My sadness is real, but it does not mean I must return to the place that made me forget myself. The new version of you needs different things now. It needs peace that does not feel like waiting for the next hurt. It needs love that does not require self-abandonment. It needs spaces where your body can relax. It needs thoughts that build you instead of breaking you. It needs choices that honor the person you are becoming. It needs a life where your nervous system is not always preparing for pain. It needs a path where your heart can open without fear ruling every breath. And if something could not offer that, if something could not walk with that version of you, then perhaps life removed it, not because you were unworthy, but because your peace was becoming too important to keep sacrificing. Say this softly to yourself. I thank the old season, but I do not live there anymore. Let those words be simple. Let them be kind. I thank the old season, but I do not live there anymore. You do not need to hate the old season. You do not need to call it wasted. You do not need to wish it never happened. You can thank it for what it showed you. You can thank it for the strength it woke up. You can thank it for revealing what your soul truly needs. You can thank it for teaching you the difference between what looks good and what feels peaceful. And then you can let it be complete. There is a soft power in completion. Completion does not always mean everything was explained. It does not always mean every question was answered. It does not always mean every feeling is gone. Completion can simply mean you are no longer willing to keep giving your future to something that has already served its lesson. Completion can mean you stop waiting for the past to become different. Completion can mean you stop asking an old door to become your home. Completion can mean you finally say, I have received what this season came to teach me. I now allow life to move me forward. The old version of you may have held on because holding on felt like hope. But the new version of you is learning that hope can also look like release. Hope can look like trusting the empty space. Hope can look like choosing yourself even while your heart is still tender. Hope can look like not sending the message. Hope can look like sleeping instead of replaying the old story. Hope can look like drinking water, taking a breath, cleaning one corner, writing one honest sentence, or saying, I do not know what comes next, but I trust that life is not finished with me. These are small acts, but they tell the inner world that you are no longer fully loyal to the old pain. The old version of you may have needed to be chosen by the outside world. The new version of you is learning to choose yourself. This is not selfish. This is healing. Choosing yourself does not mean you reject love. It means you stop rejecting yourself while waiting for love. Choosing yourself does not mean you close your heart. It means you stop placing your heart in places that keep proving they cannot hold it with care. Choosing yourself does not mean you do not care about others. It means you finally include yourself in the care you keep giving away. When life removes something from the old version of you, it may be making room for the version of you who no longer needs to beg. The version of you who no longer needs to over-explain. The version of you who no longer needs to make one person, one plan, one outcome, or one closed door the whole meaning of life. The version of you who can breathe without checking whether the past is returning. The version of you who can say, if it left, I will not use that as proof that I am empty. I will use it as a sign that life is creating room for something more aligned with my peace. There may be people, habits, and dreams that only connected with the wounded version of you. When the wound begins to heal, those things may start to lose their place. This can be uncomfortable. Sometimes healing does not only bring new things in. Sometimes healing first shows you what can no longer stay. A healed heart may no longer want the same kind of love. A peaceful mind may no longer enjoy the same kind of drama. A growing spirit may no longer fit inside the same small beliefs. A body learning calm may no longer tolerate constant stress. This is not you becoming cold. This is you becoming honest. This is you learning that your life must change when your inner state changes. Do not be surprised if the old life tries to call you back. Old patterns do not always leave quietly. They may come back as memories. They may come back as longing. They may come back as a sudden desire to check, to chase, to explain, to return, to make it work one more time. When this happens, do not panic. Do not shame yourself. Just pause and ask, is this my peace calling, or is this my old pattern asking for food? That question is powerful. It helps you slow down. It helps you see clearly. It helps you remember that not every urge is guidance. Some urges are old pain asking to be repeated. The new version of you needs you to be patient. It is not born in one day. It grows each time you choose differently. It grows each time you do not go back to what breaks you. It grows each time you speak to yourself with love. It grows each time you trust a closed door instead of attacking yourself because it closed. It grows each time you let yourself grieve without turning grief into a reason to chase. It grows each time you say, I am allowed to want more peace than I used to accept. This is how you step out of the old season, not by becoming hard, not by pretending you do not care, not by rushing your healing, but by choosing gently and again not to live where your soul can no longer breathe. You may have loved the old season. You may have learned from it. You may have cried over it. You may have wanted it to last. But if life is moving it away, perhaps your work is not to pull it back. Perhaps your work is to stand in the space it left and say, I am ready to become the version of me who no longer needs this to feel safe. I thank the old season, but I do not live there anymore. I thank the old hope, but I do not hand it my whole future. I thank the old lesson, but I do not keep repeating the pain. I thank the old version of me who tried so hard to hold on. And I bless the new version of me who is learning to trust, to release, to receive, and to walk forward with a softer heart. A closed door can feel like rejection when the heart is still attached to what it wanted. It can feel like life has said no to your happiness. It can feel like the universe has taken away the one path you believed you needed. But a closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is direction. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is redirection. Sometimes it is life turning you away from a path that would have kept asking you to lose your peace. Sometimes it is the universe saying, "Not this door," not because you are unworthy, but because this door cannot lead you where your soul is asking to go. When something does not open, the mind may quickly turn against itself. It may ask, "What did I do wrong? Why was I not enough? Why did this not happen for me? Why did life say no?" But what if the closed door is not a statement about your worth? What if it is not life saying you are not chosen? What if it is simply life saying this path is not aligned with your next season? The door may have looked beautiful. It may have looked like the answer. It may have looked, like the thing you prayed for. But the mind only sees the front of the door. Life sees what is behind it. This is why trust is needed. You may not know what a closed door protected you from. You may not know what confusion it saved you from. You may not know what delay it placed between you and a path that was not ready, not steady, or not loving. You may not know what better timing it is creating. You may not know what stronger version of you is being formed while the door stays closed. The human mind wants proof right away. It wants to understand the reason before it can rest. But sometimes rest comes before understanding. Sometimes peace begins when you say, "I do not know why this did not open, but I trust that life is not against me." Every closed door is not loss. Some doors close to lead me home. Say that slowly. Some doors close to lead me home. Home does not always mean a place. Home can mean your own heart. Home can mean your peace. Home can mean your self-respect. Home can mean your true path. Home can mean a life where you no longer have to fight to be valued. Home can mean the quiet feeling that you are no longer betraying yourself just to keep something alive. If a door closes and brings you back to yourself, perhaps it was not a cruel ending. Perhaps it was a sacred return. The mind may not accept this at first. It may say, "But I wanted that door. I wanted that answer. I wanted that person. I wanted that plan. I wanted that life." Yes, you did. Wanting is not wrong. Desire is not wrong. Hope is not wrong. But sometimes what you wanted was shaped by the version of you who had not yet seen your full worth. Sometimes what you wanted was based on fear of being alone. Sometimes what you wanted was based on the need to be chosen. Sometimes what you wanted was built from an old wound, not from your peace. And life, in its love, may close what your fear would keep choosing. A closed door gives you a question. Not, "Why am I being punished?" but "Where is life guiding me now?" Not, "Why was I rejected?" but "What is being protected in me?" Not, "Why did this not work?" but what is the better way I am being led toward? These questions do not remove sadness right away, but they change the direction of your mind. They help you stop staring only at the lock. They help you turn toward the path. They help you remember that life is larger than one door. When a message does not come, trust the silence long enough to hear yourself. When a plan does not work, trust the redirection long enough to notice what is still possible. When a connection fades, trust the space long enough to feel where your energy is returning. When an old dream changes, trust the new desire rising quietly inside you. When something stops responding, stop forcing your life force into what is not opening. The universe does not need you to break yourself against a closed door. Life can guide you more gently when you are willing to listen. This does not mean you never try. This does not mean you never take action. This does not mean you give up on every dream after one delay. There is a difference between a challenge that asks for growth and a closed door that keeps asking for self-betrayal. A challenge may stretch you, but it still feels aligned with your deeper truth. A closed door that is not meant for you keeps taking your peace without giving real life back. A challenge invites courage. A wrong door invites repeated pain. The body often knows the difference before the mind admits it. Notice what happens inside you. Does this path make you grow, or does it make you shrink? Does it ask for courage, or does it ask for self-abandonment? Does it bring you closer to yourself or further away? There are doors that close because the timing is not ready. There are doors that close because your energy is being prepared. There are doors that close because something better needs the space. There are doors that close because the old plan was too small. There are doors that close because the lesson is complete. There are doors that close because you are being taught to trust your own worth without needing that door to open. Not every no is the same. Some no's are delays. Some no's are protection. Some no's are redirection. Some no's are life, asking you to stop asking for what cannot truly hold you. When fear speaks, it says, "This door closed because I am not enough." When trust speaks, it says, "This door closed because life sees more than I see." When fear speaks, it says, "Nothing good will come now." When trust speaks, it says, "Good may come in another way." When fear speaks, it says, "I must push harder." When trust speaks, it says, "I can take the next wise step without forcing what is not opening." This is the difference between panic and guidance. Panic tries to break the door. Guidance listens for the path. If you keep trying to open what life has closed, you may miss what life has opened somewhere else. The old door can take all your attention if you let it. You may keep waiting outside it, counting the days, checking for signs, wondering if it will change. Meanwhile, your own heart is calling you back. Meanwhile, your body is asking for peace. Meanwhile, new ideas are waiting. New blessings are forming. New people, New places, new ways of living may be quietly trying to find you. But if your eyes never leave the old door, it becomes hard to see the new path. This is why release is not only about letting go of what left. Release is also about turning around. It is about facing life again. It is about looking at the morning and saying, I am still here. It is about asking, what is still possible? It is about making space in your mind for something other than the old question. It is about giving your future a chance to speak. A closed door may have ended one path, but it did not end your whole life. It did not end your ability to receive. It did not end your worth. It did not end the love life can bring. It did not end the quiet ways the universe can support you. Sometimes the door you wanted stayed closed because you were meant to stop waiting for permission. You may have been waiting for a person to choose you before you chose yourself. You may have been waiting for one answer before you trusted your own heart. You may have been waiting for one plan to work before you believed life could support you. You may have been waiting for one outside sign before you took the next loving step. But perhaps the closed door is teaching you this. You do not need the old door to open in order to be free. You do not need the past to approve your future. You do not need what left to return before life can become beautiful again. There is another kind of closed door. It is the door inside you that closes to self-love when you are hurt. When something does not work, you may close the door to your own heart. You may say harsh things to yourself. You may blame yourself. You may make yourself smaller. You may decide you were foolish for hoping. Please do not do this. Do not let an outer closed door become an inner closed heart. The moment life closes something outside, open something inside. Open kindness, open patience, open trust. Open the soft voice that says, I am still worthy. I am still guided. I am still loved by life. A closed door can become a holy teacher when you stop fighting it. It can teach you where you were attached. It can teach you where you were asking too little from life. It can teach you where you confused delay with denial. It can teach you where you were willing to lose peace for a picture. It can teach you where you still believed one outcome had the power to decide your whole worth. These lessons are not easy, but they are freeing. They bring your power back from the door and place it back in your own heart. Think gently of the doors that closed before. Some of them may still hurt. Some of them may now make sense. Some of them may have protected you in ways you only understood later. Some of them may have pushed you toward growth you would not have chosen on your own. Some of them may have brought you closer to yourself. Let this remind you that today's closed door may also carry a hidden mercy. You do not have to know it yet. You do not have to force gratitude before you are ready. Just leave a little room for the idea that life may be guiding you with more love than your fear can understand right now. When the door closes, breathe. Do not run immediately into panic. Do not decide your whole future from one moment of pain. Do not call yourself unloved because one path ended. Breathe and say, "This door is closed, but life is not closed. This plan is closed, but possibility is not closed. This chapter is closed, but my future is not closed." This is how you hold the ending without letting it become your identity. This is how you let one door be one door, not the whole universe. A closed door can be guidance, but guidance often speaks quietly. It may not shout. It may not explain everything. It may not give you the whole map. It may simply create enough space for you to stop forcing the wrong way. It may give you one small next step. Rest, wait, write, pray, breathe, stop chasing, tell the truth, care for your body, choose peace, let go for today. These small steps may not feel dramatic, but they are doors too. Every loving step is a door. Every moment of self-respect is a door. Every breath that brings you back to trust is a door. So if the message did not come, trust the silence for now. If the plan did not work, trust the redirection for now. If the connection faded, trust the space for now. If the answer is delayed, trust the timing for now. If the old path closed, trust that you are not without a path. You are being guided one step at a time. The closed door is not stronger than life. The closed door is not stronger than your soul. The closed door is not stronger than the good that still belongs to you. It is simply a sign. And sometimes the sign says, "Not here, dear one, not this way. Come back to yourself. There is another path." Every closed door is not loss. Some doors close to lead me home. Some doors close to protect my peace. Some doors close because my soul has outgrown the room behind them. Some doors close because life is making room for a blessing that does not require me to beg. Some doors close because I am ready to stop choosing what keeps me small. I trust the doors life has closed, even while my heart is still learning. I trust that life can guide me through endings, silence, delays, and space. I trust that what is meant for my peace will not require me to break myself to enter. Let your heart grieve what left, but do not make the past holy just because it is gone. This is a tender lesson. When something ends, the mind often begins to polish the memory. It remembers the beautiful parts more clearly than the heavy parts. It remembers the warmth, the hope, the dream, the few moments when everything felt possible. And those memories may be real, but they are not the whole truth. Do not let grief turn the past into a place it never fully was. Do not let missing something make you forget why your soul was tired. Do not let the ache of absence erase the weight of presence. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel confused. You are allowed to miss what mattered. You are allowed to say, "This hurt me." You are allowed to feel the emptiness where something used to be. Spiritual trust does not ask you to become stone. It does not ask you to smile while your heart is breaking. It does not ask you to pretend that endings are easy. True healing gives the heart room to feel without making the pain the whole truth. You can grieve and still trust. You can miss what left and still know you are being guided. You can feel sadness and still choose not to return to what kept hurting you. Sometimes people rush themselves when they are grieving. They say, "I should be over this. I should understand by now. I should feel peaceful. I should be stronger." But grief does not move by force. Grief moves by love. It softens when it feels safe. It releases when it is not being judged. It changes when you stop fighting your own heart. So if sadness comes, let it come gently. Let it move through the body. Let the tears be water for the dry places inside you. Let the breath hold you. Let your own voice say, "I am here with you. I will not shame you for hurting. I will not rush you out of this feeling." We are healing one layer at a time, but while you grieve, stay honest. This is very important. Grief can open the heart, but fantasy can trap it. Fantasy says, "It was perfect." Fantasy says, "I will never feel good again." Fantasy says, "That was my only chance." Fantasy says, if it came back, everything would be right. Truth speaks more softly. Truth says, there were good moments and there were painful moments. Truth says, I loved what I loved, but I also know where I was not at peace. Truth says, I can honor the memory without returning to the wound. Truth says, the past may have had beauty, but it is not the only place beauty can live. Do not make the past holy just because the present feels empty. The past may feel warm from far away because you are not standing inside the heavy parts anymore. From a distance, even a hard season can look softer. The mind may leave out the anxiety, the waiting, the confusion, the self-doubt, the way your body felt tense, the way your spirit felt unseen, the way you kept asking for peace and receiving mixed signals. Be gentle, but be clear. If something left your life, remember the whole truth, not to become angry, not to become bitter, but to protect your healing from being pulled back into a story that was not as peaceful as your loneliness may now make it seem. The heart has a way of missing the dream more than the reality. It may miss what you hoped something would become. It may miss the version you imagined. It may miss the future you built in your mind. It may miss the feeling you thought would arrive if that door opened, if that person stayed, if that plan worked, if that old life continued. But missing the dream does not mean the reality was right for you. Sometimes the dream was beautiful, but the form could not hold it. Sometimes the desire was pure, but the path was not. Sometimes the love inside you was real, but the place where you put it was not ready, safe, or steady enough to receive it. This is where grief becomes sacred. Not because it keeps you tied to the past, but because it helps you bring your love back home. You can say, I grieve the hope I placed there. I grieve the future I imagined. I grieve the part of me that waited. I grieve the energy I gave. I grieve the way I wanted it to be. And then, very gently, you can say, I now call my love back to myself. I call my hope back to my heart. I call my energy back to my body. I call my future back from the closed door. I call my peace back from the old story. This is not cold. This is holy. This is how the soul returns. There may be moments when the grief feels like a wave. It may come in the morning. It may come at night. It may come when you see something that reminds you of what left. It may come when life is quiet and the heart has space to feel. When the wave comes, do not decide that you are back at the beginning. You are not back at the beginning. You are feeling another layer. Healing is not a straight road. It is more like the tide. It comes and goes. It rises and falls. Some days you feel light. Some days you feel tender again. This does not mean you are failing. It means your heart is slowly cleaning the room. When the wave comes, speak gently. Say, this is grief, not guidance. This is sadness, not a command to return. This is memory, not destiny. This is pain moving through, not proof that I made the wrong choice. These words matter. They help the body stay safe. They help the mind stop turning every feeling into a decision. A feeling can be felt without being obeyed. A memory can be honored without being followed. A longing can be held without becoming the leader of your life. You can honor what hurt and still choose freedom. That is the center of this section. You can say, yes, this mattered. Yes, I felt deeply. Yes, I hoped. Yes, I gave love. Yes, I am sad. And still, I choose freedom. Still, I choose peace. Still, I choose to stop giving my whole future to what could not stay. Still, I choose to trust that life is not finished. Still, I choose to believe that what left did not leave with all my good. This is not a quick release. This is a loving release. It lets the heart be human while the soul stays open. Sometimes you may need to forgive yourself while you grieve. You may think, why did I not see it earlier? Why did I stay so long? Why did I hope so much? Why did I ignore the signs? Why did I give my heart there? Please be kind to yourself. You saw what you were able to see at the time. You chose with the wisdom you had. You loved with the heart you had. You stayed until something in you became ready to know differently. Do not use your new understanding to attack the old version of yourself. The old version was learning. The old version was trying. The old version needed compassion, not punishment. Say to yourself, I forgive myself for not knowing then what I know now. Let that sentence enter slowly. I forgive myself for not knowing then what I know now. I forgive myself for holding on when I was afraid. I forgive myself for hoping in a place that could not hold my peace. I forgive myself for making one door feel like the whole world. I forgive myself for forgetting my worth. I forgive myself, and I return to myself now. These words are medicine. They help the heart stop, turn in grief into self-blame. Do not make the past holy, but do not make yourself wrong for loving it either. This balance is important. You do not need to hate what left. Hate is still a chain. You do not need to keep proving that it was bad. You do not need to explain your release to everyone. You do not need to turn your healing into a battle. You can simply say, it was part of my path, and now I am walking forward. It taught me, and now I am free to learn in a gentler way. It mattered, and now I matter too. It left, and life is still here. Grief becomes lighter when you stop feeding it with fear. Fear says, nothing better will come. Fear says, I will always feel this way. Fear says, that was my last chance. Fear says, this empty space will stay empty forever. But love says, breathe. Love says, today is only one day. Love says, space is not punishment. Love says, healing is happening even when you cannot see it. Love says, you do not need to know what is coming to stop worshiping what left. Love says, let the heart feel and let the soul stay open. There is a deep difference between grieving and clinging. Grieving allows the heart to move. Clinging keeps the heart frozen. Grieving says, this mattered and I am feeling the loss. Clinging says, this must return or I cannot live. Grieving washes the heart. Clinging tightens it. Grieving makes room for truth. Clinging keeps rewriting the past. Grieving is a natural part of love. Clinging is fear trying to stop change. When you notice clinging, do not shame it. Just soften it. Say, I see you. You are afraid. But we are safe to release one layer. You may need simple rituals of release, not dramatic, not forced, just small acts that help the body understand. You may write one sentence, I release what could not stay. You may place your hand on your heart and breathe slowly. You may clean a small space in your room. You may put away something that keeps pulling you back into pain. You may stop checking for one day. You may choose not to tell the old story one more time. You may drink water and say, I am helping my body let go. These small acts matter. They tell the subconscious that the ending is real, but so is your life. Grief can also show you what you truly desire. Under the pain, there is often a pure need. You may desire love that feels safe. You may desire a life that feels steady. You may desire to be seen, heard, chosen, respected, or supported. Do not throw away the desire just because one form of it left. Keep the deeper desire. Release the form that could not carry it. Say, I still welcome love, but I release the form that hurt me. I still welcome success, but I release the path that made me lose myself. I still welcome peace, but I release the habit of choosing chaos. I still welcome joy, but I release the story that says joy can only come from what is gone. This is how grief turns into wisdom. It begins as pain, but if you hold it with love, it teaches you what your soul truly needs. It teaches you where you were hungry. It teaches you where you were giving too much. It teaches you where you were waiting for someone else to give you the love you were being called to give yourself. It teaches you where you confused longing with destiny. It teaches you where you placed your power outside yourself. These lessons are tender, but they are also freeing. They help you rise without becoming hard. Let the heart grieve in a way that opens you, not closes you. Let it make you more honest, not more afraid. Let it make you softer toward yourself, not crueler. Let it make you wiser, not bitter. Let it teach you that your love is precious and deserves a peaceful place. Let it teach you that your hope is sacred and should not be placed where it is always being wounded. Let it teach you that you can survive endings. Let it teach you that space can become holy. Let it teach you that life can still meet you after what you thought you needed has gone. You may not feel ready to bless what left. That is all right. Begin smaller. Say, I am willing to stop fighting what has already happened. I am willing to stop making this ending mean I am not loved. I am willing to stop turning my grief against myself. I am willing to let life show me what this space is for. Willingness is enough. You do not have to leap into full trust. You only have to open the door a little. A little willingness can begin a new life. The past may visit your mind again. When it does, do not kneel before it. Do not call it your only chance. Do not make it a holy temple of lost hope. Let it pass through like a memory, not a master. Say, yes, I remember. Yes, I felt. Yes, I learned. And now I return to this breath. I return to this body. I return to this day. I return to the life that is still here. This is how you gently bring yourself back from the old world. I can honor what hurt and still choose my freedom. I can grieve what left and still trust what life is bringing. I can miss the old dream and still open to a better one. I can feel sadness without making sadness my future. I can remember the past without living there. I can bless the lesson without carrying the chain. I can let my heart be tender and still let my soul move forward. And when the grief softens even a little, you may notice something quiet. You may notice a little more breath, a little more space, a little more peace in the body, a little more strength in your voice, a little more room in your mind, a little more interest in your own life. These are signs, small signs, but real signs. They are signs that your heart is not broken beyond healing. They are signs that the space is beginning to open. They are signs that life is still moving through you, still loving you, still guiding you, still making room. There comes a gentle moment in healing when the question has to change. At first, the heart asks, why did this leave? Why did this end? Why did this not stay? Why did life remove the thing I wanted, the thing I prayed for, the thing I thought was part of my future? These questions are natural. They rise because the heart is trying to understand pain. They rise because the mind wants a clear reason. They rise because the body wants to feel safe again. But if you keep asking only why it left, your mind may keep circling the same closed door. It may keep looking backward. It may keep searching the past for a kind of peace that can only be found by coming back to yourself now. So gently, without forcing, without rushing, begin to ask a new question. What did this make room for? This question does not deny the hurt. It does not pretend the ending was easy. It does not say you should smile before your heart is ready. It simply gives your pain a new direction. Instead of making the ending the whole story, it opens the possibility that the ending may be the beginning of space. Space for peace. Space for truth. Space for rest. Space for self-respect. Space for a better love. Space for a new path. Space for your own voice to become clear again. When something leaves, it creates room, and the mind may call that room emptiness, but the soul may call it preparation. Ask softly, what peace is entering now? This is a beautiful question because it helps you stop looking only at what is missing. Maybe peace is entering through the silence. Maybe peace is entering because you no longer have to wait for mixed signals. Maybe peace is entering because the struggle is no longer asking for your whole body every day. Maybe peace is entering because you are no longer forcing yourself to fit where your spirit felt tight. Maybe peace is entering because life has stopped you from walking deeper into something that would have cost you more than you knew. Peace often comes quietly at first. It does not always arrive as joy. Sometimes peace first arrives as less fear, less chasing, less waiting, less explaining, less trying to prove that you are enough. Ask softly, what lesson am I keeping? Every ending can hold a lesson, But you do not have to keep the pain in order to keep the lesson. The lesson may be that your peace matters. The lesson may be that you do not need to overgive to be loved. The lesson may be that closed doors are not always against you. The lesson may be that your body knows when something is not right. The lesson may be that you are stronger than the old fear said you were. The lesson may be that you can love deeply and still choose yourself. The lesson may be that what feels familiar is not always what is healthy. Keep the lesson. Release the chain. Ask softly, what pain am I releasing? Not all at once, not by force, just one layer. Maybe you are releasing the pain of waiting to be chosen. Maybe you are releasing the pain of trying to make something become what it could not become. Maybe you are releasing the pain of blaming yourself for what life removed. Maybe you are releasing the old belief that if something like EFT, it means you were not enough. Maybe you are releasing the habit of taking every ending personally. Maybe you are releasing the story that nothing good stays with you. That story is too heavy, and it is not the whole truth. Let it loosen. Let it fall in pieces. You do not need to carry it into the next season. Ask softly, what part of me is becoming stronger? This question helps the heart see that pain is not only breaking something. Sometimes pain is waking something. Maybe your voice is becoming stronger. Maybe your boundaries are becoming stronger. Maybe your trust is becoming stronger. Maybe your ability to sit with yourself is becoming stronger. Maybe your faith in life is becoming stronger. Maybe your self-respect is becoming stronger. Maybe your heart is becoming softer and wiser at the same time. This is important. Healing does not make you hard. True healing teaches you how to stay open without handing your whole life to what cannot hold you with care. Ask softly, what new blessing has room to arrive? Do not force the answer. Let life answer slowly. The blessing may not arrive in the shape you expect. It may come first as quiet. It may come as rest. It may come as a clear mind. It may come as a new idea. It may come as a deeper love for yourself. It may come as the courage to stop repeating the old story. It may come as a better connection later, a more peaceful path, a new desire, a new habit, a new morning where the past does not feel as loud. Blessings do not always enter with noise. Sometimes they arrive as a small, soft change inside you, and only later does the outer life begin to follow. The mind often wants the exact same thing that left to come back and prove that everything is okay. But perhaps life is trying to teach you that everything can be okay, even if it does not come back. Perhaps life is helping you find safety inside yourself, not only inside one outcome. Perhaps life is helping you learn that your good is not trapped in what left. This is a deep lesson. The good you wanted may still be for you, but perhaps not through that door. The love you wanted may still be for you, but perhaps not in that form. The peace you wanted may still be for you, but perhaps it first required removal. The support you wanted may still be for you, but perhaps life had to clear away what kept blocking your ability to receive. When you ask, "What did this make room for?" the body begins to loosen its fear. The body no longer hears only danger. It begins to hear possibility. It begins to understand that space is not only loss. Space can be a new beginning. Space can be a sacred pause. Space can be the room where your soul finds itself again. And if the old fear says, "But nothing is here yet," answer gently, "Something is forming." I do not have to see it all today. I do not have to know the whole path today. I can trust the space life has opened for me. I trust the space life has opened for me. Let that be the sentence that begins to replace the old question. I trust the space life has opened for me, not because it feels easy every moment, not because I understand everything, not because I never miss what left, but because I am no longer willing to call this space a curse. I am no longer willing to say that life is empty just because the old form is gone. I am no longer willing to believe that what left carried all my love, all my joy, all my purpose, and all my future with it. I trust the space life has opened for me because this space may be the place where my next blessing can finally breathe. You may need to ask this question many times. What is this making room for? Ask it when sadness rises. Ask it when you feel tempted to look back. Ask it when the mind starts making the past look perfect. Ask it when you feel afraid of the unknown. Ask it in the morning before the old story begins. Ask it before sleep when the heart feels quiet. Ask it not as a demand, but as a gentle opening. Life does not always answer in one loud moment. Sometimes life answers through little signs, a softer body, a clearer thought, a peaceful no, a new yes, a door that feels calm, a desire that returns, a moment where you realize you have not thought about the old pain for a while. Do not reject small answers. If you feel one breath of peace, that counts. If you choose not to chase for one day, that counts. If you notice your worth without needing someone to prove it, that counts. If you wake up and feel a little lighter, that counts. If you stop blaming yourself for 10 minutes, that counts. If you choose a kind thought instead of the old wound, that counts. Small answers become a new path. Small signs become trust. Small shifts become a new inner world. And when the inner world changes, the outer world eventually begins to meet you differently. So the next time the heart asks, "Why did it leave?" do not fight the question. Just add another question beside it. What did this make room for? Let both questions sit together for a while. The first question honors the pain. The second question opens the future. The first question says, I hurt. The second says, I am still willing to trust. The first question looks at the ending. The second looks at the space. And slowly, gently, lovingly, your attention begins to turn. Not away from truth, but toward life. Not away from grief, but toward healing. Not away from what happened, but toward what can now begin. When life clears something from your outer world, it may also be asking you to clear something inside. This does not have to be dramatic. It does not have to be perfect. You do not need to change your whole life in one day. You do not need to become a completely new person by morning. Healing often begins with one small act that tells your mind, your body, and your spirit that you are ready to make room. Letting go becomes real thrall of small choices. A thought you stop repeating. A message you stop waiting for. A corner you clean. A breath you take before reacting. A sentence you speak with love. A soft decision to stop feeding the old pain with new attention. Clearing your inner space means noticing where the old story still lives in you. Maybe it lives in the way you check for what is gone. Maybe it lives in the way you repeat the same question every night. Maybe it lives in the way you blame yourself. Maybe it lives in the way you keep hoping the past will come back and finally become gentle. Maybe it lives in the way your body tightens when you think about moving on. This is not wrong. This is simply where love is needed. Do not attack the old story. Clear it with tenderness. Say, I see you. You were trying to protect me. You were trying to help me understand. But I do not need to live here anymore. You may begin with something very simple. Delete one message if keeping it keeps opening the wound. Put away one object if seeing it pulls your whole body back into the past. Stop checking one place for one day if checking keeps your nervous system waiting. Clean one small space if the room around you feels like the old season. Write one sentence if your heart needs release. Not a long letter, not a speech, just one honest sentence. I release what could not stay. I bless what it taught me. I open my heart to what is coming. These words are simple, but they carry a deep shift. They tell your inner world that you are no longer only waiting. You are participating in your own freedom. Place your hand on your heart and speak slowly. I release what could not stay. Let the body hear it. I bless what it taught me. Let the heart soften. I open my heart to what is coming. Let the hands loosen. You do not have to know what is coming. You do not have to see the whole path. You are simply saying yes to life again. You are saying, I will not let what left close me forever. You are saying, I can be tender and still open. I can be sad and still trust. I can release the old form and still believe in the deeper good. Clearing your inner space also means clearing the old language. Listen to the way you speak about what happened. Do you keep saying, I was rejected? Do you keep saying nothing works for me? Do you keep saying everything leaves me? Do you keep saying I lost my only chance? These words matter because the subconscious mind listens. It begins to build a home from the words you repeat. So choose new words, softer words, truer words. I was redirected. I am being cleared. Life is making room. My good is not gone. My heart is healing. What is meant for my peace can still find me. These words do not deny pain. They simply stop turning pain into a command for your future. Clear the old habit of blaming yourself. This is one of the deepest clearings. When something leaves, the mind may search for what you did wrong. It may say, maybe I was too much. Maybe I was not enough. Maybe I should have known better. Maybe I should have held on tighter. Maybe I should have been different. But self-blame does not bring peace. It keeps you tied to the old story. It makes you believe that if you can punish yourself enough, maybe the ending will make sense. But healing does not come through punishment. Healing comes through truth and love. You can learn without attacking yourself. You can grow without shaming yourself. You can see clearly without becoming cruel inside. Say, I forgive myself for the part of me that wanted to hold on. I forgive myself for the part of me that was afraid. I forgive myself for the part of me that thought this was the only way. I forgive myself for the part of me that did not know how to choose peace yet. These words clear the heart. They help you stop making yourself the enemy. They bring your energy back from the old courtroom in your mind. You do not have to keep judging yourself for being human. You only have to begin again with more love. Clear the old need to know everything right now. This can be very hard because the mind wants certainty. It wants a clear plan. It wants life to explain itself in full. But some answers come only after the heart stops fighting the ending. Some answers come only when you are calmer. Some answers come months later, when you look back and realize that life was protecting you, teaching you, shaping you, or moving you towards something you could not see from where you stood. You do not have to understand everything today. Today, you can choose peace without full understanding. Today, you can trust one breath. Today, you can clear one thought. Today, you can take one loving step. Clear your body with kindness. The body holds endings too. It holds the waiting, the fear, the tension, the hope, the disappointment, the shock. So give the body a signal of safety. Breathe slowly. Relax the shoulders. Unclench the jaw. Feel the feet on the ground. Drink water. Step outside if you can. Rest if the body is tired. Move gently if the body feels heavy. Speak to the body as a friend. Dear body, we are safe now. Dear body, we do not have to chase today. Dear body, we are learning to release one layer. Dear body, life can still hold us. This is not small. The body needs to know that letting go does not mean danger. Clear the old picture from your mind little by little. The mind may keep showing you what you thought would happen, the future you imagine, the words you wanted to hear, the ending you wished had been different. When these pictures come, do not fight them with anger. Just breathe and say, I release the picture and keep the blessing. I release the form and keep the deeper good. I release the way I thought it had to happen and open to the way life knows it can happen. This is a powerful practice. It helps you stop gripping one form of good and begin trusting the source of good itself. I make room for the life that is trying to love me now. Let this sentence become a quiet prayer. I make room for the life that is trying to love me now. Perhaps life is trying to love you through rest, perhaps through a clearer mind, perhaps through a new path, perhaps through a closed door that saves your peace, perhaps through a season of silence where you learn to hear yourself again, perhaps through a better connection that cannot arrive until your heart is no longer full of the old one. Perhaps through a new version of yourself, one who no longer accepts what the old version called normal. Making room may mean choosing not to tell the old story one more time. Making room may mean not checking. Making room may mean saying no to what pulls you back into the same pain. Making room may mean saying yes to a small good thing today. Making room may mean forgiving yourself. Making room may mean allowing yourself to laugh without feeling guilty. Making room may mean going to sleep without replaying everything again. Making room may mean waking up and choosing one thought that supports your healing. These are all sacred acts. They may look simple, but they are the steps that build a new inner life. Do not wait until you feel completely ready. Readiness often comes after one small act of clearing. You may not feel ready to let go forever, but you can let go for this moment. You may not feel ready to trust the whole path, but you can trust this breath. You may not feel ready to stop missing what left, but you can stop making the missing into your master. You may not feel ready to open your heart fully, but you can open it a little. A little opening is enough. Life can enter through a small opening. Peace can enter through a small opening. The new path can begin with one small opening. Clear your inner space the way you would clear a room with care, not by throwing everything away in anger, but by choosing what no longer belongs. This thought no longer belongs. This blame no longer belongs. This waiting no longer belongs. This fear no longer belongs. This old hope no longer belongs in the center of my life. I can bless it and place it down. I can thank it and release it. I can make room for peace. I can make room for myself. I can make room for what life wants to bring now. And when the old energy returns, because it may return, do not say you failed. Simply clear again, return again, breathe again, choose again. Healing is built from repeated returns. The old story may come back asking for attention. You can answer with love and still not invite it to stay. You can say, I remember you, but I am not living there today. I feel you, but I am choosing peace today. I hear the old fear, but I am making room for trust today. Each return strengthens the new path. Each small clearing tells the subconscious, we are safe to become new. What left me did not break me. It opened me. It opened the place in me that was ready to stop living from fear. It opened to the place in me that was tired of chasing. It opened the place in me that wanted peace more than a familiar pattern. It opened the place in me that had been waiting to remember my worth. What left may have hurt, but it did not take my whole life with it. It did not take my future. It did not take my ability to receive love, joy, support, peace, and new beginnings. I am still here, and life is still moving through me. What could not stay was clearing the way. It was clearing the old fear. It was clearing the old attachment. It was clearing the old need to be chosen by what could not choose me in peace. It was clearing the habit of holding on until my hands hurt. It was clearing the belief that love must feel like worry. It was clearing the thought that I must fight for every blessing. It was clearing the path for a gentler life, a softer life, a more honest life, a life where my heart does not have to beg to feel safe. I do not chase what life has removed. I do not stand outside a closed door and call it my whole future. I do not give my best energy to what no longer has room for me. I do not keep asking the past to become my peace. I do not keep watering old pain with new fear. I release the chase. I release the waiting. I release the need to prove that I was enough. I was always enough, even when something left, even when something ended, even when something did not choose me. My worth did not leave with it. I trust the space. I trust the timing. I trust the path. I trust the space because space can be sacred. I trust the timing because life does not always move by my fear's clock. I trust the path because I do not need to see every step to take the next one. I trust that what is meant for my peace can find me in a peaceful way. I trust that what belongs in my life does not need me to abandon myself to keep it. I trust that endings can become openings. I trust that silence can become guidance. I trust that the empty place can become holy ground. I am safe to let go. I am safe to loosen my grip. I am safe to stop replaying the same old story. I am safe to breathe without holding the past inside my chest. I am safe to release one layer today. I do not have to let go perfectly. I do not have to be finished healing. I can simply allow my heart to soften a little. I can release what I am ready to release. I can rest from the fight. I can stop carrying what life has already removed. I am safe to receive better. I do not have to know what better looks like yet. I do not have to force it. I do not have to chase it. I do not have to prove I deserve it. I can become open. I can become willing. I can become peaceful enough to notice the good when it comes. Better may come as peace first. Better may come as sleep. Better may come as self-respect. Better may come as a clear no. Better may come as a new path. Better may come as love that does not confuse my nervous system. Better may come as a life where I can find. Ally, breathe. I am not behind. I am being guided. I am not late because something ended. I am not failing because the old road closed. I am not forgotten because I cannot see the next door yet. Life is still working in quiet ways. Something in me is becoming ready. Something around me is being arranged. Something old is falling away because something new needs space. I do not compare my path. I do not rush my healing. I do not call the clearing empty. I let life guide me step by step. What is meant for me can meet me in peace. I do not need to lose myself to receive it. I do not need to chase it until my body is tired. I do not need to shrink, beg, wait in fear, or become someone I am not. What is meant for me can recognize my worth. What is meant for me can honor my heart. What is meant for me can arrive without asking me to betray my peace. I open to what meets me with truth, with care, with calm, with balance, and with love. The past is not my home anymore. It may visit my memory, but it does not get to rule my life. It may have shaped me, but it does not define what I can receive now. I take the lesson and leave the chain. I take the wisdom and leave the wound. I take the strength and leave the self-blame. I take the love I gave and bring it back to my own heart. I am allowed to move forward. I am allowed to become new. I bless what left, and I bless what is coming. I bless the lesson, but I do not keep living inside the pain. I bless the old version of me who tried so hard to hold on. I bless the new version of me who is learning to trust. I bless the space between what was and what will be. I bless the quiet. I bless the unknown. I bless the part of me that is scared. I bless the part of me that is ready. I bless my path even before I understand it fully. I choose peace over the old pattern. I choose trust over the old fear. I choose self-love over the old chase. I choose stillness over panic. I choose the next gentle step. I choose to let life surprise me. I choose to believe that removal can be mercy. I choose to believe that what could not stay was clearing the way. Trust what life removed. Trust the door that closed, even if your hand still remembers how hard it knocked. Trust the silence, even if your heart once waited for a sound. Trust the ending, even if your mind still wants to rewrite it. Trust the space, even if it feels too quiet right now. Trust that life knows how to clear the way before it brings what is better aligned with your peace. You do not have to understand every reason today. You do not have to see the full picture today. You only have to stop using this ending as proof that life has forgotten you. What left may have hurt, but it did not destroy your future. What ended may have changed you, but it did not take your worth. What closed may have disappointed you, but it did not close life itself. The universe is not limited to one person, one plan, one door, one outcome, one timing, or one old dream. Life has many ways to bless you. Life has many roads back to peace. Life has many forms through which love, support, and joy can arrive. The mind may not see them yet, but that does not mean they are not forming. The empty space is not a sign that nothing is coming. It may be the sacred space where the new life begins. It may be the room your soul needed. It may be the pause your body asked for. It may be the quiet place where your true voice returns. It may be the open ground where a softer blessing can grow. Do not rush to fill the space with fear. Do not run back to the old pattern because quiet feels unfamiliar. Let the space breathe. Let it clear. Let it teach you. Let it hold you. Let it become the place where you stop abandoning yourself. You may still feel tender. That is okay. You may still miss what left. That is okay. You may still have questions. That is okay. Trust does not mean the heart never aches. Trust means the ache is not the only voice you listen to. Trust means you can say, yes, I hurt, and still life may be guiding me. Yes, I miss it, and still I can release it. Yes, I do not understand, and still I can open to peace. Yes, this space feels strange, and still something good may be forming here. Do not make the past larger than life. Do not make one ending stronger than the universe. Do not make one closed door more powerful than the love that still surrounds you. Do not give what left the power to name your future. The old thing was a chapter, not the whole book. It was a path, not the whole world. It was a lesson, not your final home. Your life is still alive. Your heart is still able to heal. Your soul is still able to receive. Your path is still unfolding. If life removed it, let yourself ask gently, what was it making room for? Maybe it was making room for peace, maybe for self-respect, maybe for a safer love, maybe for a new dream, maybe for rest, maybe for clarity, maybe for a stronger version of you. Maybe for a blessing that could not enter while your hands were full of the old pain. You do not need to force the answer. Let life show you slowly. Let the answer arrive through your healing, through your choices, through your new calm, through the people and paths that meet you without asking you to lose yourself. There is no need to chase what belongs to your peace. There is no need to beg what is meant for your highest good. There is no need to force what life has clearly moved away. What is meant for you can meet you with steadiness. What is meant for you can bring calm to the body. What is meant for you can make space for your truth. What is meant for you can grow with the person you are becoming. And if something could not stay with that version of you, perhaps it was not leaving to hurt you. Perhaps it was leaving because your peace was finally being protected. So breathe now. Let the old fear soften. Let the old story loosen. Let the old door be closed without making it accuse. Let the old season be complete without making it a failure. Let the space be open without calling it empty. Let your heart be tender without making tenderness mean weakness. You are not weak because you feel. You are not lost because something ended. You are not behind because the path changed. You are not forgotten because life is quiet. Life is still with you in the quiet. Life is still moving in the space. Life is still loving you through the clearing. Life is still whispering, "Not this way, dear heart, there is another way." You may not see it fully yet, but you can take one gentle step, one breath, one kind thought, one release, one moment of not chasing, one moment of trusting the space, one moment of saying, what could not stay was clearing the way. What could not stay was clearing the way. Let this truth rest inside you like a soft light. Not every ending is a punishment. Not every closed door is rejection. Not every silence means you are unloved. Not every space is empty. Some spaces are sacred. Some endings are protection. Some removals are mercy. Some losses are life gently taking away what could not walk with your next level of peace. You do not have to hate what left. You do not have to erase it. You do not have to pretend it never mattered. You can bless it. You can thank the lesson. You can honor the part of you that loved, hoped, waited, and tried. And then you can turn toward yourself again. You can choose your peace again. You can open your hands again. You can let life bring what is meant for the person you are becoming now. Trust what life removed. Trust the space it opened. Trust the timing you cannot yet understand. Trust the path that is forming quietly under your feet. Trust the love that does not ask you to abandon yourself. Trust the peace that is trying to enter. Trust the new life that needs room to arrive. What could not stay was clearing the way. I trust what life removed. I bless what has left. I receive what it taught me. I release the old pain with love. I open my heart to what life is bringing now. I am safe in this space. I am guided in this change. I am supported on this path. What is truly meant for me can meet me in peace, and I am ready to receive it.